My 19F parents don't seem to understand I'm running on a college schedule. I have 8 hours of online class every day. In addition to that, I have endless assignments, essays, projects, etc. to complete, as well as the mandatory readings before every class. I wake up at 8 and go to sleep at 2 a.m. My parents are WFH but don't work more than 3 to 4 hours a day. Take long afternoon naps, etc. I share a room with my sister who's younger than me and a lot messier than me. I constantly have to clean up after her, wash her dirty cutlery, etc. I haven't interacted with anyone outside of my family in the past 6 months. I am depressed. I am overworked. I have a 15-page assignment due, but my parents are calling me lazy for not cleaning up after my sister. I don't know what to concentrate on anymore. There are too many things happening. Oh, I remember those days, years. Really, your schooling is your priority. Have a frank discussion with your parents about what it is you are being asked to do. Pull out your agendas, class schedule, homework assignments, and any other thing you have to work on for school, and explain all of that to them. Then say that this is what's important to you right now. If you were away at school, you wouldn't be expected to clean up after your sister. And this is something that you cannot do given your course load. Finally, if all else fails and they still don't listen to you, go to your trusted professors and tell them what's going on. Ask for help. I never did. If you've tried talking to your parents and that hasn't worked, try having some concrete, tangible proof of your daily accomplishments. This isn't to say write a detailed account of everything, as that'll add more to your workload. My recommendation is to get a journal and put a bullet point after anything you've done. Example: awake 8 a.m. history class, read PGS 173 to 215, history, wrote 10-page paper, 6 emails, nighttime routine started 2 a.m. Not only will you then have something you can reference to support your point, you will also be able to see everything you've accomplished. Sometimes, in college, it feels like you've been working so hard and you've been doing so much but nothing is actually done. This may help you keep some motivation by seeing that, yes, you're tired and drained, but a look at all you did today. Besides that, your mental health is really important. You cannot keep burning the candle at both ends. Scheduling in a personal activity or a brain break, even for 5 minutes of your day, will be immensely beneficial to you. My old roommate used to schedule in time to cry during the day to get out frustration. Literally would put 2 p.m. to 2:08 p.m. cry in her schedule. I prefer 15 minutes of yoga or stretching. Whatever you can do to give yourself a little recuperation time. Also remember that sleep is how our brains repair themselves and move information from short-term into long-term memories. Try your harder to get some sleep. Not always easy on a full collegiate schedule. I would still talk to your parents about them keeping your sister accountable for her own messes. You're not her parent, and are not responsible for teaching her those life skills or for picking up after her. That's their responsibility. College is hard. It teaches you a lot outside of academics, such as time and stress management. What you're experiencing is not abnormal, and I know that you can make it through this exhausting time. I've been there. In high school, being overworked with studying, got SAT with tutors who put more work on top of schoolwork that takes 3x as long as a normal assignment. Being pestered to write individual college essays even for colleges I didn't want to go to. Then being called ungrateful for when I simply wanted some time to myself and not work for at least one day. It can really make you feel overwhelmed, anxious and angry, especially when parents seem to robotically pester. My solution to this issue was pretty much putting my foot down and setting my own boundaries to how much I can take. Hate to say it, but lashing out verbally pretty much let them know I had reached my breaking point. Though I am not going to encourage you to lash out at your parents. Setting boundaries is something that I am glad I did, even if it was a bit late. Create a visual representation of your existing workload, breaking into a schedule and an estimated time of completion for each task. Put every detail and distinction. If one task blocks another task, represent that with arrows. Then post it on your door as your daily or weekly schedule. I had to do something similar at work. I have been drowning. My boss thinks I'm busy but that my head is above the waterline. I'm not above the waterline. So I spent time I didn't have to build an interactive workload that showed what was on hold waiting, just for me to have enough time to get to it, what I was currently working on, and each task that was blocked and why it was blocked. My boss adopted the tracking system for the rest of our office, and he has stopped adding tasks to my workload. Some people can be told 100 times, but until they see it visually broken down for them, they cannot understand the impact. What college do you go to that has 8 hours of classes a day? I'm honestly just curious because that is unusual where I'm from, the US. Have you had a discussion with them detailing your day? One time I kept a journal of every hour of my day every day for a week, for an ex, so he could clearly see why I didn't have time for extra bullshit he wanted to do. He was taken aback and finally STFU. Edit. I saw you were studying less, so my first question is null. I get it now. I would break down your schedule for your parents. Show them how much you have going on. Also, I don't know how old your sister is, but I bet she's old enough to take care of her own dishes. You're not supposed to be her maid. It's time your parents gave her some responsibility. I am a hard-working student, and I do well, and you should be proud of me. I have class and meetings all day and a lot of studying to do, and I would think you want me to be successful? Quote, there is absolutely no reason why my sister can't clean up after herself. It is not my job to clean up after her, even though I do quite a bit for her. I am not lazy because I am working on school and unable to watch her 24/7. What I can't understand is why you don't expect her to do this for herself, and given your work schedule, why can't you supervise her? I am not her parent, I am her sister and roommate, and it's difficult enough for me to get my work done in her mess and help her sometimes, and then be judged by you for not doing more. Please address these complaints where they belong, to her. I will no longer be taking complaints. And if I have to continue cleaning up after her, I don't want to hear any complaints when I throw out things that she can't put away properly. This is just one example. Feel free to modify it, but you might need to distance yourself from their complaints. They are probably bored as well. Make sure you are getting outside and walking and staying hydrated. Maybe you can even drag your sister along, or your parents, on walks. It will be good for your mental health to attempt some boundaries and ignore unwarranted criticism. The word lazy is kind of silly, especially when applied to your situation, and it's not that they don't understand, it's that they don't care, because otherwise they will have to do it. That's my theory. DER scripts, a simple and effective way to assert yourself. How to set healthy boundaries. 10 examples plus PDF worksheets. The Guide to Strong Relationship Boundaries. 7 steps for asserting yourself positively. Building a boundary is sometimes like putting up a picket fence. You install it, slat by slat, and sometimes building a boundary is like lowering a garage door. You say what you are going to do, and then you do it, and then you keep doing it, calmly, until the person catches on. More sympathy than advice. I'm almost 35 and my parents still think that I don't work hard, or that whatever I'm doing isn't real work. My sister works in a supervising position at one of the biggest tech companies in the world. She has great pay and benefits. My parents, one of whom worked his life in the tech field, have no idea what her day-to-day job is like, and constantly harass her to quit, get married, and have grandkids for them. There's a big generational gap in this country that makes the lives of younger generations completely alien to their parents. When they were your age, it may have been a laughable idea for a girl to go to law school. Part of growing up is not needing approval from your parents. This is something you're going to have to navigate more and more as you get older and take on more responsibility. Talking to them may help, but don't be surprised if they lack perspective. How do you have 8 hours of classes a day? That's not normal. Dude, I hear you. Parents just can't comprehend that shit does not happen on their timeline and you are grown in. Have a schedule just like they do, wanting you to slave around and revert back to a child when it benefits them. Get that toxicity out of your life. It may deepen the roots of your mental anguish if you let this bullshit continue. I constantly have to clean up after her, wash her dirty cutlery, etc. Stop. Just don't. Why is this your job? Is she 6 years old? Or disabled? Or something? Print out your schedule to show your parents. Have a heart-to-heart with your sister. It is not your job to parent your sister. https en.m.wikipedia.org/wiki/parentification #. Text equals parentification %20 is %20 the %20 process %20 of alienating %20 parent %27's %20 emotional %20 life. https www.connectsafely.org/resources-for-youth-in-crisis/ https theyouthAlliance.com/resources/help-hotlines/ https://teenlineonline.org https www.crisistextline.org/ Here is the only thing that worked for me in boundary setting with my parents. Absolute nuclear meltdown. Facts didn't matter to them because their demands were based in emotion. So I had to have bigger, more violent emotional outbursts to get a shred of respect. It worked for 2 years and then I moved 2,000 miles away. Post your schedule and ask your parents to set an appointment with you. This is real-life skills too. When you are working on a project in real life, you rely on a project schedule software which everyone shares. You will not want to do this because you will feel it's taking you away from your work. But do it. Recommend Google Calendar for freeware or whatever your school uses. Show them. Don't tell them. Post it on your door or bulletin board and show them you are dedicated to your progress in courses. And your time is valuable. Did my BSc. Cons. I found that having on-wall calendar like this https alltrade-online.co.uk/products/2020-2021-academic-student-wall-planner-1 variant equals 32,341,502,066,762 and currency equals GBP and UTM medium equals products YNC and UTM source equals Google and UTM content equals SIG organic and UTM campaign equals SIG organic and UTM campaign equals GS the 3rd of August 2020 and UTM source equals Google and UTM medium equals smart campaign. Helped as I had dates written down. Also, for the love of God, get some sleep. I cannot stress this enough. Seriously. This website, whilst a bit old, has some information to help with organizing. https www.savethestudent.org/extra-guide/how-to-be-organized-in-6-easy-steps.html. You need to sit down with your parents and tell them, and more importantly show them what you have to do. Depressed. There is a website for students so you can drop in and have a general chit-chat as well, but look into some online therapy as well or student services at your uni to help Can you chat to classmates or friends online? Maybe go for a walk around a green place like a park and remember to unwind at the end of each day. And mentally prepare at the beginning. Maybe a form of exercise like yoga or meditation? I found that useful. Did exercise until last year. Treat yourself once a week to watch a film. Takeaway. How old is your sister? Can she take cutlery downstairs and put it in the washing bowl? If she can't, then MSKE some rules like no eating in bedroom. Put away toys. What are you studying? I was in a similar situation when I first started uni. It's really fucking draining, lol. Neither of my parents went to uni, so neither of them really understood how big of a workload it is. Especially if you're full-time. I don't know your living situation, but I would encourage you to maybe find your own workspace. That's specifically for you to do school. I transformed an old closet in our basement into an office, and it helped me get into the work mode mentality and sleep a little better. I also got a sign for the door so when I'm doing classes, people know not to disturb me. Also with a lock BC sometimes people don't read lol. Hope this helps. I'm curious how it is that you have 8 hours of classes every day in college. When I went, yeah, it was a long time ago. I rarely had more than 3 or 4 a day and sometimes only 1 or 2 hours. And that included labs. I know of college students who hold jobs. Well, so much for that. I'm not surprised that your concentration is down and that you're depressed. These are horrible times and, as a young man, it must be very difficult to be cut off from your buddies. I commend you for staying safe by social distancing and hope you'll continue to do this as long as necessary. Now is the time to stay safe and make it through the pandemic healthy. Anything else is gravy. College will be there next year. Cut back on your course load and spend more time on video games and porn. Never thought I'd ever say that. Zoom with your buddies. Are your parents unsupportive or ambivalent about you going to law school? That's the kind of thing most parents will move mountains to help their child succeed in. So while they may truly not understand the amount of work you're doing, I wonder if there is also something passive-aggressive going on here. Are you the first in your family to get an advanced graduate degree? Did they want you to go into another field? Is there some other source of resentment that would cause them to act out by not taking your work seriously?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.